Welcome back to the Midday Reset. My name is Antoinette, and today I want to talk to you about getting out of your head. I know sometimes it can be a jungle in there, but that's not where life happens. Life happens out here among people in the world, and the thoughts you surround certain people or situations with, no, this includes the thoughts that you have about yourself. Those thoughts are not necessarily reality. Rather than keeping up the overly harsh and inaccurate narrative that your inner thoughts can paint, I suggest engaging with others. You should approach situations positively in order to manifest positive outcomes, and I want to let you know just how you can walk back some of the negative thought patterns that you're accustomed to in favor of shifting from the negative to something more optimistic. Let's take one deep breath to clear our space. Inhale. Exhale. Excellent. If you are like me and you have anxiety, you are probably familiar with this habit of feeding your internal narrative by poring over past situations and wondering what you could have done better, as well as trying to anticipate what might come next in situations that you either fear, dislike, or are facing some type of a conflict in. This is called rumination. It's common with generalized anxiety disorder, clinical depression, social anxiety disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, and seasonal affective disorder. If you have it, you know it. Anxiety gets its fuel from the constant overthinking and replaying of situations internally. And what's important to note about rumination is that while deep thought about things is not bad in and of itself, ruminating about situations that can't be improved by our thoughts because they've already been written as they happened in the past, or creating much worse scenarios and outcomes than what is actually happening or can happen, all of this is a damaging practice. It puts you, the thinker, into a more negative state of mind than you actually need to be in. Life already does a good job at handing us things to be concerned about, big decisions that we have to make, and issues that we actually do need to spend some time thinking critically about before making a choice. I don't think that we should pile more onto ourselves by letting rumination take over. As I stated earlier, life doesn't happen in your brain. Your brain helps you navigate the world, but it is not where life gets created. Life happens in the day-to-day interactions we have with other people in this world. It happens when we step outside on a beautiful, sunny morning and get hit in the face by sunshine that startles us. It happens when all those hours of studying pay off and you ace that test you'd been fearing. It happens when two street gangs with a long-standing feud decide to call a truce for the purpose of celebrating the life of a slain community leader. It happens when one passenger on a flight finds a way to get someone else's cranky baby to stop crying by making balloon animals or throwing an impromptu puppet show, or just offers up some free baby cuddles to help the tired, stressed out parent, as well as the other passengers who are within earshot, get a much-deserved break. You can miss out on these beautiful things if you're too busy living in your head instead of out here in the world with the rest of us. While there is plenty in this world to fear or be apprehensive about, there are far more beautiful, glorious things in this world that affirm the love, compassion, and empathy that still exists in our world. Our world is also beautiful, physically, but you can't ever find that out if you aren't willing to get out into it. Living in your head is also unfair to the others around you. When you stay in your head ruminating, that gives you an opportunity to form a surplus of opinions and judgments, many of which you don't even really need to waste your time putting together. While rumination can be productive when it comes to thinking critically about situations that require it, rumination is also one of the greatest ways to feed anxiety, and anxiety is a liar. So, if you start ruminating on an exchange you had with a manager at work, forming opinions about how she feels about you, what this means for your future at work, how you should act the next time you see or speak to her, all you are doing is creating an elaborate movie script that isn't necessarily what will hit the big screen. This speaks to a larger issue that I plan to cover soon regarding energy and how the universe works. The universe really doesn't recognize whether something is good or bad. It just recognizes the intentions we have and sends energy in that direction, whatever direction that is. If we're not careful about keeping our thoughts aimed at the positive, we can conjure up intentions we don't mean to because we're directing energy at things like ruminating and obsessing over situations that don't warrant that kind of attention. So be careful. This is also unfair to the people around you because it is a practice of forming a reality before giving someone a chance to actually shape that for us themselves. If someone hasn't actually done anything to disrespect or harm you, but you are approaching them as if they have, you automatically place yourself at odds with this person because you are assuming that you have to be on the defensive somehow to defend against this attack on you that hasn't actually happened. I hope you can see the fault in this as I speak about these scenarios. I've had so many situations start off on the wrong foot because of doing this, and I'm trying to get into the practice now of redirecting my thoughts when I start noticing myself doing it. It's a distraction technique where instead of letting the rumination tornado swirl up, I direct my thoughts toward happier things, such as everything that I'm grateful, things I am happy about, things that I'm looking forward to. And it helps a lot. The anxious mind tells a lot of untruths, but you have a choice in whether or not to believe it. Let me know what you think about this topic by writing to me at themdrpodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow me at the Midday Reset on Instagram. Looking forward to hearing from you. Be well, take care of yourself, and I will see you next time.